Okay, so welcome to my new studio. I've done a couple of videos already, some movie reviews that I was meant to do last year. Unfortunately, apart from being ill and moving house and all sorts of other crap that was going on, I'm able to now do bits and pieces. So my new studio is still a work in progress. Um, but yeah, I watched Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and I actually really liked it. I know that a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it was a weak Marvel movie," but not all Marvel movies are meant to be, Endgame or Infinity War or Avengers or anything like, like Captain America Civil War. They're not meant to be big. These are kind of movies where you have um like Ant-Man movies, like, slightly lower. I wouldn't say lower quality. They're not lower quality at all. The quality's bang on. It's lower level storytelling based on where that character is in their life, in the world, or in what's happening around everybody else. So, Ant-Man style, I'd even push Guardians of the Galaxy style, or um, uh, like a Homecoming style, like like the latest Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, and they're on that same kind of vein where they are enclosed stories. Yes, the Avengers exist, the Hulk exists, Thanos did his snap, that all did happen, but this is a smaller story happening within a frame period. Sorry, a frame period, a period of time, where everything is framed around a small little space, and things go on, and there's nothing that says, oh, you can't have that, because if something was going wrong, the Hulk or Iron Man or Captain America or whoever would come and rescue uh whoever it was. But no, it doesn't happen like that. Even in the comics, it doesn't happen like that. In the comics, you'll have a Spider-Man story in a Spider-Man comic. You'll have an Iron Man story in an Iron Man comic, and they might be happening concurrently, but they'll be doing different things. So I I just don't understand why people assume that they need to expect other characters, because they exist, come into another movie or into another story because they are in the same location. It doesn't need to happen. Doesn't always happen. It shouldn't always happen. Sometimes a superhero has to trust their superhero friends to actually um, deal with the situation themselves. Mm. But yeah, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, I felt was a really good movie in terms of showing Chinese culture, showing a character that hasn't always been at the forefront. Again, he's another like Bruce Lee ripoff. I wouldn't class him as a ripoff. I don't think anybody would class Shang-Chi as a Bruce Lee ripoff. I think a homage to Bruce Lee would be a better thing. A homage to any kind of martial arts character would be a good thing. And yeah, you do need a bit of diversity, and the diversity in this movie wasn't thrown in your face. And that's one of the things I liked about it. It was a story about a family that's been broken apart, a family that needs to sort its differences out. And it was actually pretty decent in terms of what the stakes were, because the villain wasn't some alien from, you know, a, a different planet. It wasn't an alien or a human on the same planet. It was just the fact that this one guy has some supernatural rings that he used to conquer half of the world or most of the world, and um, it corrupted him. And his son was the only one to try to bring balance into his life. So I thought it was actually pretty decent in that respect. And it didn't play into too much of the, why don't you call the Avengers? Obviously, there was a bit of that, but you don't really need it because it was moved off to the side a little. There were some plot conveniences that I was like, okay, why? Just explain it some other way or do it some other way. But music wise, I didn't really hear the music, to be honest with you. I heard some of the music at the start of the movie, but then throughout the rest of the movie, it was pretty much gone, which is actually good because it's playing in your mind while you're watching the movie. A really good soundtrack should not be the thing that you notice. It should be something there that's in the background that's helping the story. And I think that's one of the things that it did really well. Whereas in Amazing Spider-Man 2, I don't know what the hell Pharrell Williams and Hans, whatever his face is, Hans Gruber, were doing, but they really destroyed that movie just by the music alone. Forget the fact that the villain was so poor, which they did fix recently. um, I just think the way they did it in this movie was really good. The action was good. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't going to be like super amazing. It wasn't going to be too violent. It was violent enough. I think the bus scene in San Francisco was really, really good. I thought it was actually quite innovative for a Disney movie, and I think they actually did that really well. It kind of reminded me about Nobody, where they have a similar bus kind of scene, but obviously it's done way differently. Um, it was actually fun. It was a bit long, to be honest with you. The acting was pretty decent all the way through. Um, there were times when I thought to myself, no, do you know what? I don't like the way they are going with this, but they actually turned it around. And I like the character development in it. The character development was actually quite strong compared to a lot of movies nowadays because what Hollywood tends to do now is make all their heroes very, very strong all the way through. Um, Mainly the female ones, they make strong all the way through, and they make a lot of the mistakes where everyone's just so overpowered that there really is no development. Whereas I think Shang-Chi, or Sean as his name is, um, actually came into his own. He embraced who he is and who he was, and became Shang-Chi. And you saw that in the final battle. Obviously, there's a lot CGI going on, but you can forgive it for this particular movie. Um, but yeah, you saw how he took it upon himself. Um, One of the things I didn't like is it has nothing to do with the movie at all. It's to do with the actor who plays Shang-Chi. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know his name. And to be honest with you, I didn't like his politics going into the movie. And that kind of put me off him, to be honest with you. But the movie wise, I thought it was really good. So normally I try not to listen to or take any hindrance from the politics that goes on while they're promoting the movie or during promoting of the movie or post promoting of the movie. I just take a movie for what it is, and for what it is, I thought it was good. Again, a lot of plot conveniences, which aren't too bad on the skin of it, but sometimes you think, you know what, I would have done it this way, I would have done it that way. Um, but again, it's lazy writing. There is a lot of lazy writing going on in Hollywood at the moment, and I didn't expect it from a Marvel production because they always respect their characters. So I don't know what happened here, but it happened. But it doesn't take away from the movie too much, which is good. So that means they're doing other things right, and I can't wait to see Shang-Chi in a another Marvel movie, whether it be his own or whether he is in a team up or in an Avengers movie. I doubt he'll be in an Avengers movie. He might be in a Young Avengers movie, but we'll see. And we'll see if Tom Holland sticks around to do a Young Avengers. That would be interesting. So, if you like this movie, tell me what you liked about it and what you hated about it. And if you leave a like and a subscribe, I'll make more of these movie reviews and make sure that they're a lot better than they have been in the past.